Okay, welcome to our weekly learning in the office. Unbelievable. Where is the office today? It's in the base midrash. So we are going to do our shir today. Thank you for being here, everybody. And the opportunity is to go ahead in Hilchos Chanukah and Hilchos life. We are in Chodesh Cheshvan and we have the opportunity to, thank God, really grow in the Chodesh of Kislev is coming up. We mentioned there's 25 days from Chaf Rosh Chodesh Kislev. That's Chanukah, Chaf. So we're going to really jump into the Ruchnius fire, the spiritual uplifting energy of this time. And we have the opportunity to really steig, like really go ahead. So we got into a concept of the Neirus in terms of Hilchos Chanukah, mitzvahs la'nichim l'ma'ala megimel tefachim. We've been talking about how you can use any kind of Amen Yehei Shmei Rabbo YISRAEL. So I'm in the base midrash in Edgware in London. So if there's any sound around me, it's Baruch Hashem, it's people davening. L'chaim. So, by the way, I miss everybody in the Holy Land. Can't wait to be back. I'm very excited to return and see you all very soon, please God. So mitzvahs lahanicham lamala megimel tefachim in a karka. It's a mitzvah to place the Chanukah lights at least 3 tefachim above the floor, so that everybody knows this concept. But the menorah and the Chanukah is able to go down lamata asara tefachim, it go below 10 tefachim, which is a big chiddush because usually the Shechina does not go lamata asara tefachim, below 10 tefachim. He says underneath, he says a light is placed from 3 tefachim on the ground, appears as if it's put down on the ground. Not that it was placed there for a specific reason. So there's a concept of lavud. So we put it in 3 hands breadths from the floor. It's just like become bottled to the floor in a way, like not nullified. It doesn't really have cheshivas of a menorah and that you're doing anything choshev. So you have to make sure it's above 3 tefachim. But within 10 tefachim it's totally good. In fact, it's in a way it's part of the avoda of Chanukah to go lamata, to go all the way down as the lowest places of our life, the lowest places in ourselves, and to light it up, to bring the awe of Yosef Hatzaddick, who will be coming soon. We already see Pasha's told us. We're already getting a glimpse of Yaakovinu, of the Chanas for Yosef Hatzaddick, and this is part of the avoda of Chanukah, Mosef Holech Yosef Hatzaddick. We're going to talk about that, please God, in a moment. When we get to the Sifrei Chassidus, Likutei Moharan, that's the sefer we're learning right now as a chana for Chodesh Kislev, the Aruch and the Tzaddik. So the idea that it goes below 10 tefachim, but im nicham l'ma'ala miyud yotze, if one places him above tefachim, he still fulfilled his obligations. So he says here, by placing it low in tefachim, which is lower than one would usually place a candle, it was lit for the purpose of illumination. Is apparently it's only lit for the purpose of mitzvah Chanukah. So if you put a candle above tefachim normally, 10 tefachim, 10 tefachim, 10 handbreadths, so that's just like a normal candle. So then it's not like got the feeling of Hanukkah. What makes Hanukkah special, al pi halacha, is it's nikah, it's recognizable that it's for the mitzvah, it's for the pasumei nisa, and that is the shem mitzvah. So you're doing it the shem, lighting up the lowest area of that. Usually, once again, would not be where you'd put the menorah, or any candle. You would put it above 10 tefachim. Everything we do generally is above 10 tefachim. The concept of rishus harab and rishus yochid, like one of the things that makes a difference between different rishusim is the concept of 10 tefachim. That should be with a mechitz of 10 tefachim. We know by Hilchos as well. So this is a concept that we've seen again and again, and there definitely is a connection between the halachas of sukkah and the menorah in terms of the different shiurim and measurements. So I have one place from above them, but above 20 amas, lo yotze, he's not fulfilled his obligation. Why? Because once it's above 20 amas, one's gaze does not extend above 20 amas. And you can look below, it says, in this case, you should extinguish the lights, place menorah in the proper location, recite the blessings, and light again. Mi shehudo ba'aliyah, one who lives in an upper story, yochel anicham b'chalan, will place menorah in the window. Afal pi shehu gavor lamana miyud tefachim, even though it's above 10 tefachim from the floor of his home, was pshat. So the pshat is that with the Chalon is that they're still able to do the mitzvah of Pasumi Nisa. But let's see, he's going to explain it. It's better to put it by the door of the house. So he doesn't really explain it exactly, but the concept is that there is a Pasumi Nisa in the window. So that's pshat. If there's other people able to see it from other buildings, and people are able, it's not such a high building that people would see it, or the buildings around are also high, so people from the other buildings will see it. Like you look out, when I used to live in Yerushalayim, we had buildings all around us, so you'd see other people's windows lit up, even though they're above 20 am, excuse me. Yeah, here we're talking about shear of 20 amos. It's pretty high. Like I remember when I went to, I think it was one of the hotels, like the Citadel, or one of my families was staying there, and I'm trying to remember which exact hotel it was. It was one of those hotels along that road in King George, or King David rather, and Mamilla Hotel maybe. But anyway, they had a massive chutzah, a really big courtyard, and they had these giant sukkah, but it was still below the 20 amos, because obviously they're not going to make a pasul sukkah, but it was huge, and the roof was very high. 20 amos is really high. It's like, remember an amos like, I would say, I mean, Al Pi Halach is 6 tefachim, but so then times 6 by 20, it's 120 tefachim, something like that. So if you want to measure it in meters, I'm sure there's a measurement here. He says between 31.5 and 37.8 feet. It's 9.6 to 11 meters, which is different sheets is all exactly what 20 amos is, but it's above 10 meters probably, and that's huge and very high. So in terms of coming back to Hilchos Chanukah, you should try and make sure that people are able to see it. That's the whole Nakuda. The whole point is that it's Pasumi Nisa, advertising the miracle. Just like we do marketing, we want to market the light of Chanukah, the Havdil. We want to make sure people are connecting into the aura of Mashiach, the aura of Chanukah, the light. That's the whole voda of Yosef Hatzaddick to mashpia. And to be mashpia, you have to make sure that the people are makabel. That's one of the big things we try to do being in London, is to make sure that everybody I'm speaking with and connecting with. I went to the boys clubhouse and Age UK Young Professionals, all the different places I went to, my family, that they're able to receive what I'm talking about and not be so abstract that it's not clear. You have to make sure that people receive the light, and that's the mitzvah of the Nes of Hanukkah, advertising the miracle of Hanukkah, that has to be seen. The whole Loshen is Sholta Dar Elo Sholta Eina. Your eyes did not see it, and that's connected to Sukkos, where the man you have to be able to see the mitzvah, to know it, to be able to receive it, and that's making it accessible. So if you can't do that, then put it by the door, and then people in the home or the outside will see it. Okay, next let's learn another halacha. And by the way, we ended off the last week with that you should be surrounded by mitzvahs. We have the Ner Chanukah on the left and the mezuzah on the right, and the tzitzis you wear. So, as I said, my Rebbe kisses his tzitzit, and he kisses the mezuzah, and then he lights the menorah. So he's surrounded by mitzvahs, right, left, and middle. And that's how we should do things. Always surrounded by mitzvahs. Here we go. We're in Laws of Hanukkah, Simon 139. Now we're in the halacha of the ninth halacha. Neiris yu b'shor achas b'shovit. The candle should be positioned one row of equal height. Lo echad gavor v'echad namach. Not one candle high and another one low. V'yeh hefsek bein ner lener, because that would be a hefsek between each candle. Shelo yiskarev halav shazeh v'zeh. So the flames do not draw close to one another. Amen. Because it would give like the look of a torch. Amen. Like we've done with not using a Havdalah candle, for example. Amen. It has to be nicker that each candle is a space so you can recognize. Amen. The mitzvah. Also with wax candles should be enough space between one another. Should not be heated by one another. Amen. Vita v'shava, causing the wax to drips and the candles to be ruined. That's the avoda. Mele Karash Hashem Kifa Psilis. So one has a dish filled with oil and place wicks around its perimeter, Kofa Ale Kli. Then he covers it with a vessel that has separate openings for each wick. Each wick can be counted as one light. That's the whole point. Each candle has its, once again, recognizable. This way the flames are contained by the vessel. The wicks do not join together and become like a torch. So thank God we have menorahs and we have glass containers for if we're doing Shem and Zayas, and we can divide it up into 8 for each night and add a candle every night. Most of a holech. And it's recognizable which night is which and which the candle's which and the shamash and everything. Everything very clear so we can receive the light according to the vessel, and it's recognizable that it's, once again, we're doing the mitzvahs lachis nevis of Chanukah and not just lighting a candle in our home for light. If you're not covered with a vessel, so this is when they have oil and different wicks all spread out in the same container, so it's not nikah, so you can't recognize it. It's similar to a torch. Or Yosef, one that has 2 or more openings to wicks. So two people should not light it even on the first night of Hanukkah, because the main point is it would not be recognizable. In this way, the flames are contained by the vessel, so the wicks do not join together. They do not become like a torch. That's the main point. It says below. In this case, it appears that the extra candles were added for the additional nights, not for other people. Although this is not a concern by the first night, since each person kindles only one light. Nevertheless, since it is an issue on the subject night, it should not be done on the first night neither. However, in the pending situation, one may use such a lamp for 2 people on the first night. So the Mishnah Berurah goes on to say that it's common practice for 2 people to light the 2 opposite ends of an 8-branch menorah, since in this way it's clear that it's being shared by 2 people. So that's something which people do when you have a situation you have to share. Okay, so that's Hilchos Chanukah. Do we have any more halachas here? No, so when we get back, we'll carry on with Hilchos Chanukah from Yud. We're talking about the Zman, lighting, the time when we should light. And in the meanwhile, we're going to now go back to Likutei Moharan, so just got to find the learning. As we said, we're learning it in the spirit of Chodesh Kislev, Baleinu Torah, and we're lining up literally where we are here in Kitzur. Some light here from the Sefer Chassidus. So here we have Rabbeinu Nachman. We're talking about Yosef, literally. Yosef Hatzaddick. We're talking about the concepts of, once again, a Chochmah and Bina. We said that Chochmah and Bina is very much connected to Shemen and the light of the 8 days. You made Bina, Hishmon, you made Bina. This concept of the 8 days of Hanukkah is connected to the aura of Chochmah and Bina, of the Shemen and the 8 days. In order to be able to reveal Torah, we have to go through the Zion of the test of Intivas that includes all the different languages, and that's through by standing up for the test of Kedusha Habrit. This is the test. That we should not go after our eyes. So we learn this concept in the Likutei Moharan in Chelik Aleph, Torah Lamed Vav, which is very symbolic of the Lamed Vav Neiros of Hanukkah. We learn the concepts that, and once we're talking about how you're using your eyes. So part of what we just learned now is how important it is that it should be able to get to the light of Hanukkah to our eyes, that we should be able to see the light, Ish Mufasem, the miracle, the nace of Hanukkah. So too we're learning about the test and the soyon of Yosef Hatzaddick to do with our eyes, the tivers. So in order for us to be able to see the light, we have to be shown with the light, and we have to use the eyes in the right way, and that is a way of being able to receive the light, the Or Mashiach, the Or of Hanukkah, the light of the Torah. To be able to makabel that light, we have to be able to protect those eyes. Because Bilam, he was called blocked. He was one-eyed. There was a pagam in his name. His eyes were iron ra, were bad eyes, and that's why he was connected to the 70 nations in the negative way. He was the full completion of the 70 nations and languages in the wrong way, in the klipa, in the bilam we already learned. It has within it potential, the klipa of Kedusha. He was given potential, the das elyon, but because once again he wasn't able to use his anayim and use his eye in a good way, like Ravina was an ayin tov, had a good eye, and a Kohen is meant to be an ayin tov, to have a good eye towards people. So then there was a pagam in the use of the eyes, and that caused his everything that he was about to become pagam, to become blemished. And so we have Yosef Hatzaddick is the tikkun of that, who's able to omid on the sign. He's able to stand on the tests that we get in our generation more than ever. We've mentioned already in Netanya and in some of the classes we recorded here in London, and when we spoke Shalasudis by Nishmas YISRAEL, the concept of our generation is the most tested generation. We quoted the Mashgiach, Moshe Wilson, Shlit Zatzal, remind myself that he's no longer with us. So he's mentioned that this is the door that gets to Mekayim, this Chiv the rice more than ever of Lo Sasu, not going after your eyes, and not going after your heart. This is the door that gets to Mekayim this in the biggest way, and that's why because we're Omid on the sign, we're standing on the test before Mashiach comes, we're able to Mekayim the inyan of Mesiras Nefesh, and that's one of the most important parts of Hanukkah. We said there's 25 days from Rosh Chodesh Kislev coming up, Aleinu Tov, in a new week. I'll be back in the Holy Land, Pashas YITZCHAK, from Toldus, from the brachas of Yaakovinu, continuing with the shlichus of Yaakov to build his bias man, to bring down the souls of Yosef Hatzaddick, the Yosef Hatzaddick. And that came with the shemen as part of the journey. He had the Pachsha shemen and the whole voda of anointing, and like we do with the menorah, we light up with the shemen, the oil, the elevation of the eyes, the elevation of our minds, and everything should be lit up and elevated and fixed. And through that fixing was Zoch's galas of the Torah, the Shivim Panim of Torah, the 70 faces of the Torah become revealed. And the 36 Masechtas connect the 36 nights of Chanukah, revealed the 36 Tzaddikim of every generation, the hidden Tzaddikim in every generation, Lamed Vav Tzaddikim. And we Zoch to Bez Hashem to the tikkun of the Naim, and to be Zoch Bez Hashem to the Gisgalas, the revelation of the menorah, and to be able to become the mitzvah menorah, and be Zoch to good children and all the good things that come out from the Segula of lighting the menorah. It says by being busy with the Neres Chanukah, you're Zoch to children to have Chachamim. So this is part of the tikkun that we're Zoch to Mekayim, and Bez Hashem we should Zoch to a beautiful Shabbos, my last Shabbos in Chutzlaritz, hopefully for good. So the next time I'll be back, that would be the part of the Gula Shlema, so I won't have to come back to Chutzlaritz anymore. That would be the tikkun, and hopefully we'll be Zoch to only good news besides from our children. We dedicate the learning once again to BORUCH MASHA and all the soldiers of Am Yisrael, and we Zoch to Omed on the Sion, and we Zoch to the fullest galas of Mashiach again, which will bring the 70 nations, the Sod, Gematrius, Shivim, 70, to bring out the secret and the Yain Shel Torah, the wine of the Torah, to get shikah from the Avos of Torah and the Avos Hashem, to mention the Shalasudis and the Avos Yisrael, that to be able to become one with the Torah, and one with Hashem, and one with the nation. Mizach Bez Hashem to all the Mashiach Kenim B'Meiv Amen.